we speak about people being critiquing FIFA Ustun's play.
I was going to say, let me just interrupt here. You said that he has critics. There's one critic, and he stood right next to me here. But you have kind of been proved wrong.
I was a critic of how Ustun approached that game, as he was just going for the finesse shots outside the box, as that was one of the best ways of scoring. However, Nicolas had found a way to defend against that, and he dominated that game. However, since then, Ustun has been phenomenal. He has really turned things around with his latest patch. He's shown some of the most amazing FIFA gameplay that I've seen. And I said in Singapore, I will put my hands up and I will admit that I was wrong. He is not a one-trick.
I'd love to hear it.
He's not a one-trick pony. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to play FIFA. He's been around for several titles now. He's not going to be worried about some simple patch changing over, and he can get the job done when it matters.
That's very, very true. Now, obviously, looking at this one, we got two players going up each other who have had a lot of success. What are your thoughts on this one, Dan, as we obviously kick off here our first game of the day in our first leg?
Of course, Nicolas, he made history. He was the first PS4 champion in over 2 years back in London those months ago. But since then, he kind of dropped off a little bit, but he's always been there or thereabouts, getting to a semi-final, getting to a console final. Maybe, though, this could be the event that we see him rise right to the top once again.
And it will be Nicolas who's playing in the white. Ustun will be playing in the yellow and blue, and a ball into the box here early on. Finds the head of Cristiano Ronaldo. Manuel Neuer in goal here for Nicolas. Interesting to see that. David De Gea has kind of become the more prominent pick, should we say, after sort of the early iterations and early tournaments we had in the year where we saw the likes of Courtois, the likes of Neuer. Interesting to see the German in goal here for Nicolas.
Player choice is always going to be something that changes as the season goes on, as new FUT items are introduced.
Mbappe then inside the box. Nicolas looking to build here early on. Ball around the corner here. R9 trying to sneak that ball through. Well defended though by Ustun. That's something we saw in Singapore, Dan. Ustun's defending has improved drastically as the season has gone on.
I mean, I think this patch actually suits Ustun more than people thought it would. I mean, he has just really adapted to the situation phenomenally, and we should be in for a good display here. He only lost out to Tex in Singapore. That's who he lost to in that grand final. He was able to kind of wash away everyone else in the competition, and I'm expecting him to put up a great match against Nicolas here.
It's going to be an interesting matchup as well. I mean, Ustun, we saw him using the 4-4-2 quite a lot in the last tournament. It looks like he might be using a similar formation to kick things off here, but Mbappe tried to poke that one around the corner here for Nicolas. And we know what to expect from Nicolas. Such a well-rounded player. Kind of has every single string to his bow that you require to be a champion. That's why he is so feared. That's why he sat where he is in the Global Series rankings. But a couple of misplaced passes early on here, Dan. Just maybe both players feeling their way into this.
I think a lot of people are scared to go up against Nicolas and the way he plays, because we always credit him for how well he defends, how he does just put a brick wall in front of the attackers and stops any sort of chances. But Ustun just needs to deprive him of possession and not give him the confidence.
Beautiful little roulette round the corner. He goes for the Elastico as well. Fortunately, it didn't turn into some goal, but this might turn into a goal here for Neymar. Tries to get past Cancelo, but the pace there of the Juve man in at that fullback spot, making sure that the player couldn't get away there. But a big chance there for Ustun to kick things off.
Yeah, it's one of those where you hope that that touch is going to be just enough to beat the man, and then Neymar can maybe shrug him off. But we know Neymar's not the strongest of FUT items in the game, so maybe Ustun could have opted for maybe a ball roll or something just to try and get away from the defender. But I appreciate the risk, because if it had paid off, he would have had a one-on-one chance.
Maldini then with the big switch of the play. Marcelo into Eusebio, playing on the left-hand side here. He has a little bit of space. You can see Hullit's back inside. Nice little ball there from Ustun. This is good play in the build-up. Mbappe then finding Eusebio. Scoop turn, goes for the shot towards the far corner. First real meaningful shot on goal so far in the game. Another comfortable save though for Manuel Neuer. No green triangle to be seen.
Was that a finesse shot from outside the box against Nicolas? Not again, Ustun. Don't you do it. I'm kidding, of course. You do have to have a little bit of variety in your shots, though. You've got to try and catch your opponent off guard, try and lull them into a false sense of security. If they think you're going to be taking those shots every day, then they're going to start to defend differently. So I can appreciate a bit of variety.
Well, here's Cancelo then, 4-star skills on the fullback. Might have to pull some of those out of the bag to find a bit of space instead. It's R9 on the edge of the box. Vieira now to Cristiano Ronaldo. Couple of step overs. Tries to drive inside Virgil van Dijk. The Liverpool man stands strong.
Yeah, Van Dijk is so difficult to get past, and I've been thinking since the FUT birthday release of his striker foot item, and you could move that back to a CDM. I wonder whether that might come into the equation. I know Hullet and Vieira are so strong, but you might see some people try it out, especially in qualifying events as well, now that we see the restrictions being put in place.
There's certainly an interesting card to come out. The FUT birthday celebrations, of course, 10 years of FIFA Ultimate Team being celebrated this year. Incredible achievement. Sadly, I've played every single Ultimate Team since it's been introduced into the game. Nicolas as well, a player who's obviously no stranger to Ultimate Team and the achievements that he's had, and he tries to find a little pass into CR7 there. And now he does a good job, though, to win the ball back, and now he can build again here. You can see a bit of space inside here for R9. Hullet now, good touch past his man. It's a beautiful ball as well, and there is the opening goal. The ball found its way through to Neymar, and it was a simple finish for the Brazilian. Nicolas 1-0 up.
And it's been kind of like that the whole game. Both of the players kind of feeling each other out, hoping to get that one break, that one little gap on goal. And it's Nicolas who spots it first, and he penetrates perfectly there. And that gives him the goal lead now against Ustun in this first leg. And Nicolas, I think he has to show up at these events. He is expected to be the best PS4 player around. He is #1 in the Global Series rankings. He is expected to be the #1 threat for Tex at the eWorld Cup as it stands at the moment. Of course, they were teammates as well at the eClub World Cup, and they won that tournament. And I just think that he needs another winning tournament. He needs to be back on top
just to
again.
Remind everyone.
Just to show everyone what he's made of.
Well, it's a great start here for him in this game. Chance for him to build an attack then. Ustun, one down as we approach half-time. We won't worry him too much, though. We know that he's got goals in his locker. Cancelo comes forward then, once again, for Nicolas. Tries to squeeze the ball into the 97-rated prime icon moments. Ronaldo sitting on the edge of the 18-yard box. Vieira comes in and gets another foot on it, but it's going to break here. Played around the corner. Cruyff turn here from Neymar. Trying to get past his man. It's Mbappe who's doing defensive work, but Ustun's kind of causing himself some problems here, and it's going to cause himself a huge problem. Ustun goes down by 2 in extra time at the end of the first half of our first leg. A mistake from him, and Nicolas takes full advantage.
It's a very difficult situation to try and defend against because Ustun actually tackled Nicolas 2 or 3 times. However, he wasn't able to get hold of the ball after those tackles, and sometimes it's very difficult to try and rearrange your defensive position after those balls have fell back to your opposition. So he kind of struggled, and then when he did get the ball back, he passed it away. I do feel for him in that scenario. However, Nicolas is going to be more than happy to take control of it, and then just like that, we thought there wasn't even going to be enough time in this first half, but Ustun snatched one back, and he'll be feeling like justice is served.
And this is what he can do. He's such a dangerous player going forward. Even with just a few seconds left here of this first half, he finds somehow a way to carve out a chance. And having found that chance, it's his first real clear-cut chance of the game. Ustun halves the deficit here and will go into this second half here with just 1 goal separating the 2 players. Nicolas will put that one out of play as the whistle goes. And that'll just kind of pick his head up a little bit, because you can see he hasn't had the majority of possession in that game. We know that Nicolas likes to hold the ball. But a little confidence boost towards the end of the half like that, that could be huge for Ustun.
Yeah, 37% of possession is never going to be fun, and he'll probably be having flashbacks of when they did previously face in London, when he wasn't able to get that ball into the box, and he did have to kind of resort to just shooting from outside the box constantly. Whereas we just saw him demonstrate the difference from what we see now to what we saw then. He is able to carve open those opportunities. He does have a different way of trying to get in front of goal, and he was able to get that from kickoff and secure one to give him a little bit of confidence.
So then Ustun has shown that he's dangerous from the restart. He has kickoff here in the second half as well. Can he carve a chance out? Mbappe, though, is going to make sure that that's as difficult as it possibly can be here. Hullet, though, is coming forward now, down the left-hand side, cuts back. Flicks this one up, and that's going to be in towards the back post. Alexandro gets up to win the header. against Kylian Mbappe at that back post, and that looked dangerous when that ball was in the air. You always kind of worry as a player who is defending those crosses when you see the ball kind of go over those two centre-backs and find its way towards that back post.
However, I think you have a little bit of relief when you see it's not Cristiano Ronaldo at the back post. It's not going to be him who's leaping above the defenders. With the 4-4-2 that is implemented, Ronaldo isn't there.
Space here for Neymar though, inside the box. Nicolas, oh, it's a little back around the corner, but couldn't quite find the pass across goal for a clear strike on goal. And now going straight up the other end. This game really has started to open up now, and Eusebio's in behind. Neuer not deciding to come. Cruyff turned back inside. Eusebio finds Ronaldo. Ronaldo ties up the game. Perfect patience there from M10Ustun. The game is now tied up at 2-2.
And that was just a goal of reacting to the situation, noticing where the defenders were moving and just quickly deciding where he wanted to put that ball. It was a nice Cruyff turn, as you said, to get away from the defender, and then seeing the other defender just slide across and being able to turn with Ronaldo. Great stuff from Ustun, right back into this tie now.
2-2 then. This is what Ustun can do. He was 2 down, and he's found those chances. This is how dangerous he is going forward. Nicolas, though, looking to regain the lead now. Coming forward, Luka Modric. Managed to find his way inside the box now. Ronaldo with a shot across goal. You can see that R9 was kind of hovering there, and De Gea had to gather that one in.
I think what is important against a player like Nicolas is you have to play your own game. You can't let him play the game, and you can't let him dominate the possession. Instead, you stick to the 4-4-2 that you're used to. It's what he was doing so well with in Singapore, and we're seeing more of the same here now. He looks like he's in his element, he looks confident, and we are in for a very exciting tie now.
Yeah, this really is an exciting game to kick things off. It's one of those that kind of was billed as an exciting game, and hasn't disappointed so far. We've hit the hour mark now in the first leg, and a free kick here in a dangerous position. Neymar tries to find the ball into the runner there, R9. And the interesting thing for me, we talk about player selection, Dan, quite a lot with all of the, the new foot items that are constantly rolling out throughout the season. Interesting to see the fullback choices here for Nicolas. He's got Cancelo, and he's got,
he's got a penalty.
He's got a penalty to defend here as well. Just as I'm talking about fullbacks, it's the centre-back, Paolo Maldini, who drops the player inside the box, and now from 2 down, Ustun has the chance to go into the lead. CR7 versus Neuer. Ronaldo steps up. Saved by Neuer on the rebound though. Heartbreak for Nicolas. Ustun staying alive to the situation though. And it will be Ustun who's turned this around.
And Nicolas guessed right, but unfortunately, enough power on the ball to just be palmed to the side, and he is very, very lucky to be able to get that rebound. And Ustun had a little smile on his face as he knows. But sometimes you need Lady Luck to shine on you a little bit. And now he takes the lead against Nicolas.
I said he was a dangerous player, and when he went 1 down, I said he wouldn't be worried. And this is why, Dan, this is what he can produce. This is why whenever you see a bracket, you always have your eyes on M10Ustun, what he can do. And I think the confidence he would have gained from his performance in Singapore, where he was the PlayStation 4 champion, could see him elevate his game to that next level. But Nicolas, a man who's not used to being behind in any particular game, is coming forward, looking to equalise. The ball will fall back to Messi. It falls to, it's CR7 with the acrobatics. And just as Ustun went into the lead, Nicolas has fired back.
Well, a rebound on one side and then a rebound on the other as well. The shot was good stuff from Messi. Again, if you hit it with enough power, the keeper's not always going to be able to catch it. And then thankfully for Nicolas, Ronaldo was there waiting to pounce, as he always is in FIFA 19, all over the pitch. Doesn't matter whether it's with his head, with his foot, probably with his hips. He's always going to be able to put that ball in the back of the net. 3-3 now between these two players. And you have to feel whoever does win this tie is going to be one of the favourites to go on and win the PlayStation side. Yeah,
it's interesting to see these two players matching up so early in the bracket, but sometimes that's just how things work out. And Nicolas tried to get around the outside of his man there, Marcelo. He came steaming into the tackle. We've already seen one penalty been given away at the other end. There was a kind of inkling that another one might be on the horizon there as Marcelo charged into the tackle. Corner though for Nicolas, whips it in towards the front post.
Almost went straight in.
Exactly, that looks so dangerous on its way to goal.
And you might be wondering why these two players are facing up against each other if they are two of the best PS4 players. Well, it's all down to their Swiss record, and neither of them were able to dominate the Swiss yesterday.
Great ball inside here, Messi towards the back post, it's Ruud Gullit there, slightly overhit, Neuer will come out and get a punch on that one, but dangerous again from Ustun.
If we had seen one of these players go undefeated in Swiss, then the likelihood they wouldn't have faced one another unless the other had done really badly. But they both had losses. They both weren't looking at their best yesterday.
Oh, Ronaldo inside the box and Messi's twisting. Messi's turning. De Gea with a fantastic save. This game is so open.
And unfortunately, the karate kick from Eusebio couldn't quite connect with the ball. Yeah, it's
Look
back
at this.
and forth.
Oh.
It's so back and forth at the moment. And really, one of them has to slow it down, if I'm honest. And that might be down to Nicolas. Yes, okay, the counter-attack potential is going to be great, but you need to take control of the game.
I disagree. I want to see this game played at this pace for the second leg as well. So entertaining between these two players.
But that's not... just because you want to see it doesn't mean how it should be played.
Hey, I'm a neutral here. I just want to see a good game of FIFA 19, and that's what we're seeing right now. I agree with you, though. One of the players maybe needs to just take control a little bit. Slow things down.
Oh, that's wayward. Poor pass, really.
Ronaldo then with space to find Eusebio. Tried that 45-degree fake shot to get round his man. Will with the throw-in, though. Inside the last 10 minutes, I should say, here in this first leg. Is there another goal in this game? Maldini will defend that one fairly comfortably, and here comes Ustun once more, just streaming forward. And that ball roll from Gullit is going to open up this left-hand side here for Messi. Comes back inside, tries to find the ball into Gullit. Just not quite enough power on that pass to find its man, and now straight up the other end. It's almost a role reversal. Messi's in behind. Ustun's defence is here for Nicolas. Gets round his man. Has Marcelo to beat. Somehow Lionel Messi still has the ball. Modric on the edge of the box. Space here for Gullit as well. Cristiano Ronaldo into Eusebio. Heel to heel inside the box. Ustun's hanging on and he can't hang on because Nicolas is just so deadly inside the box. 4-3 to Nicolas. Just a few minutes to go. What a first leg this has been.
And you can see how both players were trying to take advantage of the fatigue of the fullbacks by playing that lofted ball to Messi or the through ball to Messi. But it was Nicolas who was able to recycle that play back into the midfield to try and generate some space on that left-hand side. And it's just a heel-to-heel and a couple of turns to beat the man that allowed the space for Cristiano Ronaldo to get right next to that goal line just for a simple tap-in.
Now, does Ustun have one more attack in him here to find an equaliser? What a game this has been, Dan. Ustun was 2-0 down, went 3-2 up, and now Nicolas has scored back-to-back here to make it 4-3. This is how we want to kick off Championship Sunday. This is the level of FIFA 19 we want to see from every single player left in the tournament, and Ustun is going for goal! And I highlighted Manuel Neuer being in goal for Nicolas, and that's why he comes up with the goods. Corner then, in the last few seconds here of this first leg. Mbappe delivers. Ronaldo's there, goes for the spectacular. Oh, it almost falls to Gullit. And I think that will be it. And that is the end of your first leg here. And what a game it has been. Nicolas takes a goal advantage into the second leg.
Yeah, and I think Nicolas probably thought that he could have run away with it after he went 2-0 up as well. But I think the fact that Ustun was able to just claw one back right at the end of that first half, it just generated so much pressure into that second half. And then Ustun just went for it. He played his own game. He said, look, I'm playing the 4-4-2. Nicolas, just deal with it or you don't deal with it. And unfortunately, Nicolas couldn't deal with it at the start of it. He didn't really expect the attacks that Ustun was able to put through. However, then Nicolas did what Nicolas always does. He adapts, he changes his style, he finds new ways to break down the defence. And his pass and move game style is just absolutely beautiful to watch.
Yeah, I mean, you can see some of the replays and there will be a few goals to show everybody at home. Obviously, with the 7 goals being scored in this game, but Nicolas's goals, you know, as we say, a lot of the time were good build-up play, finding that final pass, but this one here, a little mistake from Ustun in defence, not clearing his lines, allowing Nicolas to find a little space and a little ball into Mbappe to finish it off, but Ustun stayed in this one, and that's the thing, he kept it close. It was just those last few minutes there He just couldn't keep concentration for those final moments.
Yeah, well, I think that's one thing that Euston's always going to provide is goals. I mean, how many times have we said at tournaments, oh, Euston's the top goal scorer. Again, in Singapore, he was the top goal scorer right up until Tech scored that final goal against him in the console final, just to take him one goal further. He scored 60+ goals in Singapore, which was just absolutely insane.
You see that penalty save there from Manuel Neuer. Unfortunately for Nicolas, though, having made the save, the ball just dribbled back to Cristiano Ronaldo, who on the second attempt made no mistake. But then it was all Nicolas from there. After Euston went 3-2 up, the shot from Messi, just too much power, he wins the header, and the acrobatics from Ronaldo tied up the game. But this is the difficulty in defending these final moments of the game here, Dan. You can see it here, the twisting and turning inside the box. It's so difficult to defend because you're so worried about conceding those moments. Sometimes you make a little rash challenge, you just want to get the ball back. And you can see these twists and turns from Eusebio, nothing special, but you can see Euston just maybe overcommitting in defense sometimes, trying to cut out the ball, trying to make a tackle, just leaving that pass over to Ronaldo in the middle.
These players know exactly what their opponents are trying to do. Euston knew full well that Nicolas wanted to play that ball across the box into Ronaldo in the middle, so he's trying to put players in the way of that, but then Nicolas is reacting to that by doing more skill moves with Eusebio to suggest, oh, maybe I'm not going to pass that into the middle. And it's a big kind of cat and mouse kind of game of who's going to guess the right way sometimes. And Nicolas won the battle in that situation, and he has the lead going into this second leg. But, you know, you can't count out Euston. His goal-scoring prowess is amazing. And I think that Nicolas is well aware of that, even though he's a very defensive player. He's very good at playing the ball around the park. He will need to restrict Euston from having attacks in this second leg. We will need to see more of a possession-based style from Nicolas, because I feel like he played into Euston's hands in that first leg with the constant back-and-forth ping-pong football. Just hold that ball now, you've got that lead a little bit. Just try and frustrate Euston where you can.
So then, set up beautifully here for our second leg. And a reminder to everyone, no Swiss stage today. This is win or go home, quite simply. Single elimination for these players. And those all-important Global Series ranking points on the line as well as we move towards the end of the season. But we're moving into our second leg now. One goal the difference between the two players after our first game here at the Gfinity Arena here in London. And it's going to be Ustun with the kickoff here. Well defended, though, by Nicolas, and now Nicolas can come away.
And just as we're getting this one underway, I can give you some updates from the other quarterfinals on the Xbox as well. Stefano Pina and Lev Vinken are tied up 2-2. Feldman is beating Fafilza 2-1, and Web Nasri currently beating Mo Alba 3-1 in that quarterfinal. So plenty of action going on the Xbox side at the moment. But still in this tie, this is the most goals that we're seeing on the Xbox, as two of our best players, on the PS4, sorry, two of our best players going up against each other.
Some of those names still left in the tournament on the PlayStation 4. We talked about how stacked the bracket is, and some of those players have made it into the latter stages. This is beautiful from Nicolas, by the way. Unfortunately for him, the shot was straight into the hands of David De Gea. Didn't have to move either side, didn't have to move his goalkeeper at all. Tries to whip that one into the back post there. Early pressure here from Nicolas, just a few minutes into this game. Corner here. And you can see, look at Ustun committing that goalkeeper towards the front post. You can see that's making Nicolas think a little bit. Where's he going to put this? He's going to go towards the back post. He's going to play it short. Looks like he does favour that back post, and Ronaldo gets up. Times the header, De Gea has to turn it behind.
Yeah, quick reaction to move that keeper back to the back post as soon as he saw that ball lofted in the air. But you've got to be very careful when you're moving your keeper out, because it can leave you stranded sometimes.
You can see now, Ustun may be second-guessing himself with the goalkeeper. Moves it towards the near post. It does go in towards the near post, and same player on the end of it, Cristiano Ronaldo. Same result, though. David De Gea with the save, this time not out for a corner. Just grabs that one gleefully. Eusebio winning the header now, and Ustun can come forward with that 4-4-2. You can see the players ahead of the ball. Gives him so many attacking options. Great ball into CR7 here. Goes for the step over. Strong tackle, though, from Rio Ferdinand.
And of course, we are amidst the PS4 quarterfinals. The Xbox quarterfinals will be next up. If you're wondering where your favorite players are, if you're a fan of #Harry, for example, he'll be playing next. And I think that PS4 players really feel like they have more of a chance here in London. I don't know what it is about the Gfinity Arena, but we've seen two PS4 champions. Maybe we could be seeing a third, and maybe it'll be one of these two players.
Well, maybe it'll be Nicolas, because he's inside the box now, and he's going for the shot. Well defended, though, by Ustun, not overcommitting his centre-backs in that situation. Now Ustun can come forward once more. I do love watching players use the 4-4-2. So many attacking options, as I say. If there's one player who can kind of negate a lot of attacking options, it is Nicolas with his defensive style. You can see again, R9 coming back to defend, and oh, it was almost a great little ball into the feet of the on-rushing striker there. But again, Nicolas, with that deep line, was able to bring Manuel Neuer out to cut out that ball before it even got to the feet of the defender.
Yeah, just about. I mean, that's one of the best ways of actually finding goals in FIFA 19 at the moment against good defensive players, is that through ball that can just cut them open right through the middle and then hitting a first-time shot to drive it past the goalkeeper. We've seen so many goals like that this tournament, and it's very difficult to defend against because you're focusing so much on switching with the players that you're currently contesting. You don't always get time to follow the runs, because usually you'll follow what runs down the wing rather than down the middle, because if you start bringing players out of the central back position, that can get very, very ugly.
Well, there might be a chance here. Oh, the deflection!
Speaking of ugly.
Just goes wide of the upright there for Ustun. I think Nicolas would have had a deep breath there. They call him the Iceman. And I'm sure that he would have felt the pressure there in that situation. Another header there, one by Cristiano Ronaldo. And it will go behind, but chances at both ends. The start of our second leg here, but nobody able to take one.
The fact that Houston's been able to still keep quite a lot of possession, as I say that, he gives it away, will give him more confidence. I still feel like Nicolas is rushing the ball a little bit more than we're used to seeing. And I wonder whether he's maybe playing into Houston's game rather than the wrong way around.
Well, here's Neymar inside the box for Ustun. Well defended, though, by Nicolas. He'll come away once more, but going back to your point, maybe it isn't, you know, what we're used to seeing from Nicolas as far as controlling the pace of the game, so to speak. But I think that's a lot to do with Ustun's style of defending. He likes to pressurize the ball. He likes to bring players towards the ball, and he's just not allowing Nicolas to settle.
At the same time, maybe we're seeing Nicolas try something new. We have seen him fall at the console final, and then before that we saw him fall in the semi-final. So maybe he wants to try new formations. He wants to try new styles.
Oh, Neymar with a chance to strike, and Ustun strikes! Great turn from Neymar. The five-star weak foot comes into effect once more. The low-driven shot beats Neuer. And all of a sudden, we're tied up once again.
And sometimes you've just got to smash it. There was a man in the way, but he manages to slot it through his legs. And Ustun knows how to put the ball in the back of the net. He hits it and times it green so often. He is so well practiced, so well drilled. But now he needs to keep pressing because the job is not done. He's only tied it up.
This is where Ustun needs to focus here, defending. Once he's just scored, and there we go! Nicolas actually takes the lead again. He ties up the game, but takes the lead on aggregate. So difficult to defend sometimes, and Nicolas takes advantage of that. Vieira around the corner into Mbappe, the first time finish from Cristiano Ronaldo. And for all the hard work that Ustun did to get back into this game, Nicolas has just stolen that lead away once more.
Yeah, after the restart, some of the defenders just not maybe in their usual position. And unfortunately, Ustun not able to put them in the place to stop those quick passes from Nicolas. And now Ustun has to go again. It's so mentally draining after doing so much to claw back that draw, just to be it's snatched away from you in an instant.
However, take yourself back to Singapore. Ustun showed that he can come back from behind. He's shown that he has the skill that maybe some of us were questioning him having as part of his game. Nicolas is going to lose the ball here, gets the ball back, and oh, this could be a little bit of a lucky break, but De Gea will come out and comfortably claim that ball as it ricocheted right across the pitch. Still a lot of time left in this game here for Ustun, as Eusebio does manage to get in behind the fullback here, and this is good play from Ustun, but Vieira just comes in, doesn't let the player settle on the ball. And now Nicolas is going to be looking for the ball in behind, and it's Kylian Mbappe trying to get away from his man, but an unfortunate button press, I think, there from Nicolas. Sees that one just dribble out for a goal kick.
Yeah, either trying to go for a fake shot, or maybe he was trying to go for a low-driven pass across goal, but just didn't quite hit the right buttons. Either way, Ustun will be more than happy to see that happen so he can get possession back. He was able to grab a goal at the end of the first half in the first leg. Can he do the same here going forward now?
Into stoppage time then at the end of the first half of our second leg. He's going to get a second bite of the cherry here as the ball falls back to him. Hullet, this is beautiful, quick passing here. And Ronaldo's inside the box. The Croqueta! Oh. What a save! Or was it the post that just denied Ustun?
I'm not sure what it was, but Neuer very acrobatically was able to get to ground there. And if it was a save, it was one of the best saves I've seen all tournament. And Ustun will be wondering, well, what do I have to do to beat Neuer? He'd done everything else right. The Croqueta in the box under pressure, was able to beat several different defenders. And now we'll go into the second half of the second leg with Ustun still trailing by 1. As you can see now, just some tactical changes coming out.
And this is something we saw back in FIFA 18 from Nicolas as well. Loves keeping high stamina on both of those central defensive midfielders in his 4-2-3-1. So you will see him swap out Vieira for Modric like we've just seen there. I remember last year he was very keen on getting team of the year, team of the season, and N'Golo Kante onto the pitch in FIFA 18. So always good to see players taking different approaches to the game.
Well, it's because we saw it at the end of that first leg, both players trying to take advantage of that stamina, trying to take advantage of that fatigue with over-the-top through balls. So you have to try and do what you can. And, well, he'll do what he can, Ustun, as he's right back into it once again. And it's those same penetrative through balls right through the middle. And that first time shot.
It's almost a carbon copy of what we just saw from Nicolas at the end of the first half here. The ball into Cristiano Ronaldo and a rifled finish, driven low past the goalkeeper. There's always excitement involved when Ustun is playing a game of FIFA 19. And once again, he's not disappointing.
And I'm just wondering, though,
5-5 on aggregate.
Can he take the lead? And if he takes the lead, can he press on? Because you have to secure a cushion against Nicolas, because even though we credit Nicolas's defense, he does hit you when you least expect it.
Here comes Ustun then. The PS4 champion from Singapore's looking to get in behind Rio Ferdinand. Couldn't quite manage to get enough weight on that ball to beat the centre-back, and now Cancelo comes forward here for Nicolas. Great ball in behind Marcelo. Mbappe will get there. Ball rolls past him. Hullet's there waiting on the edge of the box. Modric now. Great stuff here from Nicolas. And just like that, again, Ustun can't hold on to his lead. But that was a fantastically worked goal there from Nicolas.
Nicolas is just so good at picking his pass. He knows exactly where he wants that ball to be. He reads the game so quickly as well, and it's a shame for Ustun. You saw he moved the goalkeeper across, but unfortunately De Gea still not able to get there. Just fell to ground. R9 able to give the lead back once again to Nicolas. And you're quite right, Mark. I mean, this is an incredible game, and realistically, this could be the PS4 final. This could be the eWorld Cup PS4 final for all we know. Both of these players have had a fantastic season. Ustun more recently with his incredible results. And it would be an amazing statement if he were to be able to take down Nicolas, the #1 in the Global Series rankings on the PS4. But he still trails once again.
Just needs to be able to hold on to his leads here. You can see the offside trap being executed here by Ustun as well, trying to pressure Nicolas. He knows how good Nicolas is at keeping the ball. Wants to try and make every pass as difficult as possible for his opponent. As we hit the hour mark, 30 minutes left in game here for Ustun to find an equaliser, but it might be a chance here, and it is a chance. And that's a 2-goal cushion now for Nicolas. He's just relentless in front of goal.
A similar style to what we saw from Stefano Pina as well yesterday. He started on the left-hand side. He noticed there was a lot of pressure, so he switched play with a switch right over to the right-hand side. And then it gives Neymar that freedom on the left because it drags the whole pitch over, but Neymar stays wide. And then it's a few quick passes in succession, and then suddenly he's open, and he has a one-on-one. And you know that Nicolas is going to score those. He's not going to miss. And now, after all the hard work that Ustun's had in this second leg, he finds himself 2 goals behind again. And I wonder when it becomes too much now, with only, half an hour left in this second leg.
There's a couple of players, though. If you ask me to write a list of players who could score a couple of goals with not a lot of time left on the clock, that I would include every single time, and M10Ustun would certainly be in that list, but giving the ball away from the restart is not going to be the way to get things done.
And you can see the latest scores in the quarterfinals on your right-hand side of the screen there as well. Lev Vinken 3-2 up against Peanut. Feldman 3-2 versus Fafilza, and Webb Nasri leading Mo Albert 5-2. And you speak about players who can find goals in the last minute. It's usually Mo Albert, but it looks like he might be having another exit in the quarterfinals.
Look at this, Ustun's flying forward. He's won the ball high up the pitch here. Messi's got it onto his left foot, but he doesn't hit that green finish. Neuer was scrambling across his goal line. And when you're 2 down against a player like Nicolas, you need to take those chances.
And you look at goals scored for Ustun as well. You can see his previous results in the Swiss. I mean, he was scoring at least 7 goals per tie. Well, he needs 7 goals in this tie just to equalise. Still time to do so.
He might be able to find one here. Cristiano Ronaldo gets the shot away. Neuer with a comfortable save. Maybe some nerves creeping in. Maybe the occasion getting to Ustun here. He wins the ball back though, and that's something he's been doing really well in the last few minutes. Ronaldo waiting for the run of R9. Finds R9. R9 finds the crossbar. And he's getting closer. But sometimes close just doesn't get the job done.
The one thing that Ustun's doing well is he is keeping the possession. He is pressuring. He's not allowing Nicolas to control the game as much as Nicolas usually would.
Problem is, Dan, it's going to leave so much space, and look at the space here for Mbappe. He's waiting for the run of Eusebio. So many players free, but that tackle from Ruud Gullit might have just kept Ustun's chances alive.
He needs a goal though now.
Gullit comes forward then. Ronaldo. Players streaming forward. R9's going to beat the goalkeeper here. He gets the ball roll, but again, cannot beat the final man. Nicolas is holding on here.
And Ustun's just going to be feeling like it's one of those days. Several chances now that on another day we might have seen hurtling towards the back of the net. But Nicolas just doing enough, bringing his keeper out at the right times. Sometimes it's a risk, but he's prepared to take it because he has that 2-goal
wins it
cushion.
back though. Maldini wins it back, and Ustun can come forward once more. You feel like he kind of needs to score from this attack, and Mbappe's trying to get to that ball. Ferdinand gets across though. Ronaldo wins the header. The reason I was saying he needs to score from this is simply time. Linesman's flag is going to stay down here. Nicolas, smart play from him, running towards the corner, eating those seconds off the clock.
Yeah, he had a chance to put the ball into the box, but he noticed Ustun moved the goalkeeper and he blocked that simple driven pass across. And yeah, it's just keep ball now. It's time management. He's only going to go for goal, I think, if he gets presented with a perfect opportunity.
This might be that perfect opportunity. Eusebio tries to get the ball back in. He will find the ball on the rebound. Kante fighting with Eusebio, and Kante comes away with the ball. Ronaldo trying to find Mbappe. You can see Ustun has to go for these.
He does.
Through balls. He has to get the ball up the pitch as quick as he can.
Just has to take the risk and hope that one of those risks actually pays off with a goal and gives him a chance in these final few stages. I have seen 4 goals scored in 5 minutes. I think that's the record I've seen in tournament play by Mo Albert. But I'm not sure Ustun is going to be presented with that opportunity because Nicolas is going to play keep ball now.
His name on them for Nicolas. This has been an exhibition on how to see out the final minutes of a game when you have a lead. Keeping possession, not overcommitting, not getting carried away with the situation. And this is the difference sometimes between players. The difference between a champion and the difference between a player who's still looking to win that cross-console final. But Ustun has put up a fantastic fight here in our first game of the day, but it's just been, again, a game of missed chances for him in certain situations.
Notice how Nicolas is making changes here, though. With just a couple of minutes left, how many players do you see actually take a pause, take that substitution and say, look, I want fresh legs on the pitch to help come back and defend. At the same time, Ustun now, you could see, going all-out attack with his formation as well, throwing everything onto the pitch and just hoping.
Nicolas then held onto this lead superbly in the last 10 minutes or so of this game. This looks like another test that the Iceman is going to overcome. Ustun looks like he will be crashing out the LQE here in London. Our Singapore champion. Will not be the champion again here in London. De Gea picks the ball up here for M10Ustun, but it's Nicolas again, showing how important experience is in the big games. He comes out with the win in our first game of the day.
Nicolas's 6th semi-final in a row in all competitions for him. Ustun put up one hell of a fight, but unfortunately, again, history repeats himself, and he cannot topple Nicolas.